Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. I hope you're doing absolutely wonderful. Let's start with Joe Rogan, and this clip is a little embarrassing, but it's not so much about him as it is about this underlying problem. Now, do I also think there's a Joe Rogan specific problem about him bringing all too often information that's not accurate onto his gargantuous platform? Yes. And I get that the style is supposed to be just chit-chatting, a couple guys chit-chatting, and when a couple guys chit-chat, they'll bring up stuff that isn't always correct. And that's kind of the style of the podcast, but you get that size of audience, and I don't know, I feel like you have some responsibility to check what you're saying. And luckily his producer did intervene here to fact check, and it wasn't the most important thing ever, but it is emblematic of an extremely important issue, which is how, let's be honest, we as humans haven't done a great job with handling the internet. Now there's this AI concept and tool that I just don't think we're ready for, and most people won't stop for 1 second to ask themselves, if they see a damning video of someone they don't like, could this be altered? And I'm really scared, we'll talk about that after the clip, about what that means when even prominent people like Joe Rogan on a huge platform in his conversation with comedian Tim Dillon is going, did you see this Tim Walz video? It's real. And it wasn't real. So actually take that down. Let me show you the video at issue here and just see if you could use your critical thinking skills to guess that this wasn't a real video. I can't play it because of copyrighted music, but it's Governor Tim Walz dancing around and gyrating with an F Trump shirt on, and then he spanks his bottom and sings into the camera in a way that I think would make most observers go, that probably is someone else with Tim Walz's face slapped on top of it. But not everyone thought that. And that brings us to this clip. Eek.
You know what's really fun?
Yeah.
When someone is in that whole race and running for president or vice president, and then the race is over and they realize that person was a liability, so they cut them off.
And you never hear
then that
from
person
them.
goes wacky, like Tim Walz.
That's right.
Did you see where he had a fuck Trump shirt on?
Yeah.
And he's dancing and going down an elevator? Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find that
Tim
video.
Walz is.
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
Oh, a huge mistake.
They should have picked Josh Shapiro from the governor of Pennsylvania.
I think they're worried about the Jewish thing.
Well, of course, it's a big swing state, and it would have been better.
Okay, you go full screen on
Is
this.
that really him?
No, it's not real.
It's real.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
AI generated.
No, it's real.
No.
So let's stop there for a second. Jamie, the producer, just at a quick glance says, I think that's AI generated. You'll take that down. If you go and try to find the video, the community note is this is clearly AI. Okay? This is clearly AI. And it's such a fun way to discuss what is going to be, through the usages of this new tool that we have, a massive tool for fraud and exploitation and using people's likeness.
Fake news.
For all sorts of fake news. So if you look up the video, it big slapped on top of it is, this is AI. But Rogan goes, no, Jamie, stop having fun.
Full screen on
Is
this.
that really him?
No, it's not real.
It's real.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
AI generated.
No, it's real.
No, look, I can tell it's not real.
I would love it. It's real.
It's not real.
It's got to be real.
It has to
Really
be real.
not real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at him dancing. That is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walz. The fuck Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the
Jamie's
government.
compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No, the video.
Everybody says
the
it?
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep Riley
so
Moore
what?
fell for an AI generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too. And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of
And
doing
there.
something
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
And that's, I really... Okay, well, it's not real, but he totally has done that. It just wasn't filmed. That was him in my heart. I love he's compromised. Obviously, they started being silly there, but and it was funny. But there was a really, again, I say emblematic example there of not only the fact that if it weren't, the way I think of it is, picture a bunch of little Joe Rogans who aren't 100 millionaires with a huge platform, but are just kind of out living their life. And they say, did you see this video? They show it to somebody. There's no Jamie to correct them. And then that's how these, on this issue, totally unimportant falsehoods spread. But on many others, very important falsehoods spread. And we were already effed on discerning as a society fact from fiction before it was so easy to alter videos in a pretty convincing way. Less so that video, but some videos kind of convincing. And the second part is a lot of people, when confronted with the fact that something that they have been told, it's not just, oh, that video is AI, just in general, concepts get debunked or they're shown evidence to the contrary. They go, okay, maybe that's true, but my belief still stands. So in his case, I like this example because it is so silly and unimportant. But he goes, nah, maybe the video is AI, but that totally is something Tim Walz would do. Put F Trump and dance around. As if to say that his belief about Tim Walz is that he would, number one, kind of lower himself to that and be that goofy. But on much more important things, what kind of comes to my mind is election conspiracies. I've sat with people and I've gone, okay, you believe the election was stolen. Give me an example. And they go, oh, it's because X person was caught doing fraud. And then I pull up and I go, look, that person, actually, that was a false story. They weren't caught doing fraud in the interest of Biden. And the person goes, okay, maybe that's fake, but still, the election was stolen. And we have to start celebrating people shifting the underlying belief when confronted, or going from I hold a belief to I'm open-minded about that belief whenever they're confronted with contrary evidence. Because now we're in this place where the strategy, and this Trump's strategy on many issues, is to throw, it can be kernels of truth combined with a bunch of distortions, combined with outright lies. And then in this new era, it'll be totally altered images or videos at a concept. And then the absorbers of that information form a worldview. And then when they go out and that worldview is confronted in little pieces, oh, that particular video is fake, they say, yeah, but I've just seen too much to substantiate this worldview. So surely I shouldn't rethink the whole thing or be more open-minded to it, because there's not really an incentive structure. And normally our response when people do change their view is like, wow, why'd you have the other view in the first place? Now, this AI out of control theme, I do think I'll get to a different Rogan clip that the first one reminded me of, but it does bring us to, it's not just prominent folks like Rogan falling for this all too often. There's also Chris Cuomo fell for this one. While we continue forward, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. It's free. And we just had someone write in and say that they've been subscribed for a while, and then all of a sudden they just stopped having suggested any of my videos, and they said, is there any solution to that? I don't know why that happens. Check the channel, click on the videos, hopefully it starts again, and do make sure you're subscribed. So lots of right-wingers, and then Chris Cuomo, wherever you place him, fell for this during the Sydney Sweeney saga.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess, and the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul, with those ocean blue eyes that could resurrect the Führer from his grave in Argentina, is
People say this is real. Guys, we're going to talk about in the next segment the UFO hearing, and I have this not super popular take of like, well, I don't care. And a part of it is informed by stuff like this. We can't figure out this. When you hear her go, Sydney Sweeney's bouncy little fun bags, excuse me, whatever you think of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you think she would go on the House floor and say that? And people go, yeah, that's real. I hate her. If we can't figure that out, do you think we're going to figure out what the government knows about unidentified aerial phenomena? I don't think so. I doubt it. And then Amy Klobuchar. The Sweeney thing became an AI wildfire. Also had this video circulating of her.
Look, all we're saying is that we want representation, okay? If Republicans are going to have beautiful girls with perfect titties in their ads, we want ads for Democrats too, you know? We want ugly, fat bitches wearing pink wigs and long-ass fake nails being loud and twerking on top of a cop car at a Waffle House because they didn't get extra ketchup, you know? Just because we're...
Whoever's writing these... Wow. Credit to you, because some of them, I don't know if this one has it, but one of the AOC videos that was posted had on top of it like fun with AI or something tagged. And I think people are in some cases developing these to be silly. Like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Tim Walz was dancing around slapping his butt with a F Trump shirt on? Hey, wouldn't it be funny if AOC said this or that about Sweeney or Amy Klobuchar? And then a bunch of people, we can't even have good things. We can't have satire because some of these are funny as satire, but then Klobuchar has to do an op-ed in the New York Times being like, what I didn't say about Sydney Sweeney. I didn't say anything about how we need fat people twerking on cop cars because they didn't get enough ketchup at the Waffle House. I didn't say that. And if you're a podcast listener, you might be less outraged because you just heard the audio. If you watch the video, the lip isn't even synced up with the words. It's obviously altered. And you're thinking, Luke, no one took those seriously. They did. And I've shown you those examples before. Just like the Rogan one. They do. It's weird. It's strange. The weird thing is, run these videos through AI and ask if it's AI before you post about it. And it'll be like, yes, this is AI. Or altered in some way. Now we just use AI for everything. But you get the point. Now, before getting back to more fun things, speaking of Klobuchar, this is a real video of her telling a specific story about when this type of usage of what otherwise could be a fun or cool tool can destroy people's lives.
Turn quickly to AI. I actually have had in my someone I know well whose son serves in the Marines. He got a call when his son was deployed. That was his son's voice that had been scraped off the internet. This isn't a senior scam, but we're seeing so much of this with seniors and saying, I'm in trouble, I need money, basically. And he figured out something was wrong when he started asking questions and hung up. But I think the grandma might not have done that, or the grandpa.
Mom, this is your son Luke. I am in need of money to purchase some bouncy little fun bags. Luke? Something's wrong about this. That's when the mom realized something was off. No, it's very serious. So this is happening. Already you had definitely particularly badly fraudsters targeting seniors, and then just people in general being targeted for these different scams. It's going to be so difficult now, and this is what a lot of stories are popping up about, where you get an AI generated version of a loved one's voice, and then you call them with it, and you convince them to give you money because it sounds like their voice. Or Biden, I think there was a scam, Biden or some Democrat calling Democratic voters and being like, listen, folks, the election was rescheduled. Don't go to the polls today. Otherwise, I got to kick you in the ass. And voters are like, oh, okay. Things like that can have very destructive consequences, not to mention exploitation of minors' likeness in a sexual manner. And then people of all ages being exploited sexually using these different technologies. And I don't feel like it's getting, in part because a lot of our leaders don't understand it. What is this, another Insta click or something? A Finsta? We need to ban Finsta. Is this TikTok? Is this a TikTok? And so we need aggressive action by the government to rein this in, to prosecute, get justice, thus hopefully prevent future exploitations like this and frauds like this through civil or criminal proceedings. But I do doubt that we're going to have the proper laws in the books, and then the usage of those laws to protect people, just given what we've seen on so many other issues with our government. But the other aspect, so it's sort of how AI can be used to manipulate people, to misrepresent people. And then what I'm really not looking forward to is, because people are being misrepresented, sexually exploited, defrauded using AI, you're going to have dishonest politicians like Trump saying, oh, you saw something about me that you didn't like, or something strange happened, that must have been AI, when it's not. So you'll have real examples of this poisoning our political discourse and harming people if we don't rein it in properly. And you'll have politicians using the fact that a lot of things are manipulated to lie about things that are real. Like maybe that Epstein letter was AI. And the latest example of this was, you remember this video of something being chucked out of the White House, one of the White House windows, which is just kind of bizarre. You'll see it here. Whoop. There we go. Well, Trump was asked about it and said, oh, that was AI, despite it not being, and that being a real video.
That is circulating online now of the White House, where a window is open to the residents upstairs, and somebody is throwing a big bag out the window. Have you seen this?
No, that's probably AI generated. Actually, you can't open the windows. You know why?
So it wasn't AI generated. And again, that's not an important example, unless those were the Epstein files, but we just think it was junk or something. But then he tells this whole story about there's no way anything could have been thrown out of a White House window, and it must have been AI. And so imagine that with more important examples. He was shown the video.
Maybe from the renovations.
Which is the window?
It looks like this is on the 15th Street side, I think. Yeah. So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows they're all sealed. You can't open them.
I mean, think about during the Trump grabs them by the you-know-what saga, there was this level of understanding about how so many things are manipulated. Trump would have come out and said, oh, that audio is AI. Oh, that's not even my voice. Like now he's saying, that's not even my signature on the Epstein letter. That's not even my voice. That must have been AI generated. So you'll have that combination where tons of voters are going to see a video of Biden saying, I stole the election, and think it's real. And then they'll be shown evidence that it's not. And they'll say, some of them won't ever see the evidence. And some of them will say, but it still was. Like, that is something he would say. And then you'll have dishonest politicians going, oh, you saw something about me bad? It must have been manipulated. Now, because
there's people that
because I showed you that first Rogan video, it did remind me of one of the Hall of Fame Rogan misunderstandings during the podcast, which was this.
Well, there's people that voted for Biden that are doing it now. They're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview where he's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all. It's like you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how you could.
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple of days ago? He's talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I saw that. It's like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's crazy.
If you had any other job and you were talking like that, they would go, hey, you're done.
If you talked like that to a doctor at your medical exam to fight, they'd be like, okay, like obviously you're not fighting. You would also, here's 8 weeks of being helped out by a professional, like
you might not ever do anything again.
No, it's one of the wildest things ever.
It's insane.
Yeah,
and the media gaslighting you to protect. It's just people are so afraid of Trump being in office and Republicans being in office.
A few moments later,
hanging out with the guy, I'm like, man.
Well, it's just the media narrative. I mean, so many people were fed this lie that the Russia collusion.
Yeah.
Was
this the video you're talking about?
Let me see what this one says. I don't think it is.
By the way, The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
So yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
Right,
what?
Just for the record.
Is that fake?
It's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that. Here's what Trump saying it in 2019.
Oh.
Donald Trump said something about that. He didn't say Jesus. He said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like that's you can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you could tell he like messed up his words, but yeah, he's just, I don't know.
Took over the airports.
Well, that's the thing about
there weren't airports. But the funny part is so much funny about that. Again, it is funny that they go, yeah, Biden's zapped because he made that airport remark, but then it's actually something Trump said and they go, no, Trump just messed up. But then it's funny because Biden got the remark wrong. So it's like Biden, he was zapped. So their point was actually standing there, kind of, which he said that Trump said that they didn't have enough airports, but Trump did make a blunder, but it wasn't that. So it's like Biden, there's so many confusions. Rogan thinks it was Biden and then judges Biden for it, but it's only Trump said, but Biden misstated what Trump said, but what Trump said was ridiculous. It's just every direction. And they go, no, that's just, hey, we've all done it before. Really? That's not what you were saying. But hey, it happens. And those examples I just are better for me to talk about so I don't get upset, because they're obviously much more consequential symptoms of that same problem that show up on Rogan's podcast, which I get, I really do. That he wants to do a style show where you're just chit-chatting, and so you don't prep a bunch, and it's like 3 hours, 4 hours sometimes of talking, and that's gonna come with it issues. And if it's about the airport remark or Tim Walz, I really don't care, especially with Jamie there to correct it. But on medical issues or issues of our democracy, etc., him being that casual with such consequential things with the size of his audience does really infuriate me. So I should note that. But I guess the takeaway is we got to do something. We got to do something about AI, and maybe we should focus on that first and this next story later.